Hey guys, so today I'm going to be talking about this book because I've had a fairly uneventful day. All I did was walk around town handing in CVs to places. I'm talking about this book, Neil Gaiman's Anansi Boys, because it's not going to be the sort of I love it, it's amazing sort of review that I would normally do with books, because I tend to only read books when I've heard reviews of them that are really, really super good. But this I'm reading because, I'm reviewing it because I've just read it, because my uncle lent it to me when I was in Broadstairs. To give you a basic, base outline, it starts off talking about this tricky guy, and he's really happy and cheery, but he's really embarrassing to his son, whose name is Fat Charlie for most of the book. He's called Fat Charlie because his father named him that when he was very briefly fat, which he's not really for the rest of the book, because he's an adult in the rest of the book, but he was fat when he was only about 10 or 11. And the names that his father tends to gives things tend to stick. So this is about Fat Charlie, and he turns out, a spoiler a little bit, his father is a god. You might have heard of Anansi, the trickster spider god. I think I might have heard of it. It rings a bell, maybe when I was about 7 or 8 or something. I'm not 100% sure, but yeah. So it's about his son, Anansi's son, and he did not inherit any of his godlike qualities. And the blurb reads, Fat Charlie Anansi is not having a good week. So his estranged father recently dropped dead on the karaoke stage and has left Fat Charlie with much more than embarrassment. So yeah, he discovers that his dad is a spider god, and then he's talking to some family friends, I would probably say, and he's talking to this one old woman, and his old woman tells him that he has a brother, and he's like, what, I have a brother, what, no, I don't have a brother. And then the woman tells him that if he wanted to talk to this brother, he had to talk to a spider. And so one night when he's kind of rather drunk, he talks to a spider, just because he's drunk and he wanted to. And then his brother arrives. And his brother did inherit quite a lot of the godlike, tricksy qualities of his father. And that's when the trouble starts, really. And it's kind of the story of the brothers getting to know each other, and Fat Charlie getting to know his brother and not really liking him. And then they journey into this, Fat Charlie journeys into this, world of gods. And it's very strange. Because, I was mostly confused for the first 300 pages, must be said. And then once it got to about page 300, oops, something just fell off my bed. Anyway, once it got to about page 300, I started quite liking it, must be said. It got quite funny about then, but I guess it was funny beforehand, but I didn't really understand it at that point. I started to like the characters more because they seemed more relatable, I guess, because before I found Fat Charlie kind of annoying and boring, and I found his brother just irritating, just all round irritating. So yeah, I do quite like it. I like the realism of the characters' development. Not necessarily the characters to begin with, but I like the realism of the characters' development. I like the way he writes it. I've heard of Neil Gaiman before, because John Green. So yeah, I think I recommend this book, but if you don't quite get it at the beginning, stick with it, because it is good. And I like the ending. It's got to be said. I do like the ending. So yeah, this has been quite a long video for me, so I'm going to turn it off now, but so I'm going to say read Neil Gaiman's Anansi Boys. It's quite good, and I will give it a 3.55 out of 5. Too many 5s. Yeah, so just above 3.5, because the start of it confused me a little bit too much, but I like the ending. So yeah, see you tomorrow.